Hey there, everyone. Today we're exploring The Human Emperor, a time travel, isekai story where our protagonist is given a second chance to rewrite history. But does the story deliver on its potential, or does it crumble under its own weight? Let's break it down and see if this epic tale of war, strategy, and betrayal is worth your time. Wang Chong, a modern-day man forcefully transported to an alternate world, is initially aimless in his new life. After a devastating calamity shatters everything he holds dear, regret sets in. He rises, becoming the Grand Marshal of the Central Plains, leading an army to protect what remains of his world. But despite his best efforts, fate seems unchangeable, and before his death, a shooting star offers him a second chance to undo the past. Can Wang Chong change history? Or will he be doomed to repeat his mistakes? The premise of The Human Emperor is a solid one. A man from the modern world sent to a chaotic, alternate reality, given the rare gift of a second chance to change the course of his fate. However, the story quickly falls into common traps of the isekai and time travel genres. Wang Chong's new life is riddled with problems, and the setup for his transformation into a powerful leader is laid out well. The potential for growth and the exploration of military strategy is high, but the execution falters as the plot advances. One of the biggest issues with the novel is the huge plot holes that can't be ignored. Take the communication systems, for example. Characters rely on homing pigeons as if they were modern-day phones. This wouldn't be a problem if it was just a minor detail, but entire military strategies depend on communication that isn't feasible in the world the author has built. How can these groups constantly relay information across vast distances when basic communication methods are limited? It's a fundamental flaw that undermines the entire premise. Then there's Wang Chong's misplaced loyalty to the sage emperor and his government. Instead of focusing on the issues within the government, like corruption and inefficient leadership, Wang Chong spends his time building a private army. Given that he has the power to influence the court, why doesn't he work from within to reform the system? This makes his actions feel inconsistent and misguided. The war arc, spanning from chapters 525 to 650, is an utter waste of time. Over 100 chapters of endless back-and-forth reactions from characters on the battlefield, with the MC only executing one major stratagem that the entire war hinges on. This feels like padding, not story development. While some readers might enjoy the tactical buildup, it drags on unnecessarily and quickly becomes repetitive and tiresome. The novel could have easily condensed this into 50 chapters or fewer and still told the same story. Another major flaw is the ridiculous cultivation system. While it's not uncommon for characters to experience dramatic power-ups in martial arts novels, here, the MC's cultivation fluctuates wildly, often for no apparent reason other than plot convenience. At times, it feels like the author is just throwing in new powers or abilities whenever it's necessary to move the plot forward. This kind of plot armor is frustrating and detracts from the enjoyment of the story. The side characters in The Human Emperor are largely unnecessary and underdeveloped. There's a seemingly endless parade of generals, allies, and enemies, but most of them are introduced only to fade into the background shortly after. Worse, many of the female characters are one-dimensional and serve little purpose beyond being passive or antagonistic figures. Instead of enriching the plot, they feel like afterthoughts, wasting time and distracting from the main story. Enol also suffers from blatant nationalism and racism, particularly toward neighboring countries and cultures. The portrayal of Tibetans, Koreans, and other ethnic groups. The author paints these groups as backwards or savage, with no nuance or respect for historical realities. This not only feels inaccurate, but also distasteful, especially in a novel that's meant to entertain rather than push divisive ideologies. It's a major turnoff for readers who expect a more thoughtful approach to world building and character representation. One of the most frustrating elements of this novel is the filler chapters. The training arc from chapters 200 to 350 is essentially meaningless, with little to no impact on the overall plot. The same can be said for the drawn-out war sequence mentioned earlier. Instead of building tension and excitement, these filler chapters sap the story's energy and create a sluggish pace that's hard to get through. The Human Emperor starts with a promising premise: a man given a second chance to rewrite history and protect his family. However, the story quickly stumbles due to its inconsistent world building, plot holes, and illogical character actions. The NC's development is marred by unnecessary filler, and the side characters fail to contribute meaningfully to the story. Worse still, the novel is marred by problematic portrayals of other cultures, which detracts from any potential enjoyment. While the book has its moments, it ultimately feels like a missed opportunity. What are your thoughts on novels with problematic portrayals of other cultures? Does it impact your enjoyment? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more web novel reviews. Catch you next time.